Episode 31, let's go. All right, first thing I want to do is uh, say that I actually didn't realize that I didn't have to make an account for Godot. That's kind of a bonus. Second thing I want to do is delete this whole folder. Yeah, delete that whole folder. I don't know. Oh, okay, sure. All right, this. What? Okay, I'm gonna open this in File Manager. Huh. All right, I'm going to probably just take all of this out here. Then I'm gonna delete that folder, and then I'm going to save that, and then I'm going to yes, then I'm gonna quit to project list, and I'm gonna rename this to 2D because there's really no way, there's really no reason for me to uh, really no reason for me to have a 2D game, 2D test game or 2D learning game in one project and then a 3D one in the same project. So I'm just gonna have those be separate, easy. And then I am going to, oh, interesting. And then I'm going to see what he has,
GD script.
see what he's going to do um, in this video. I'm like not actually sure if he's going to do a 2D game or a 3D game. Looks like 2D. And it looks like there's not going to be much of a game. So I'm going to just make a new project. Okay, great. So, I mean, he will tell me to do that. Let me think. Also, I'm realizing how much. Okay, so I watched this video, right? And all the servers were all the okay, and all the channels were Among Us. Okay, I was watching this video by Bite Me Games, and it was like 7 things to do to save time or to not waste time making your game. And one of them was use code that is available to you. Like use open source code that people have already written that does a certain thing in your game the best it can because people have already figured out the best way to actually code like a save system or a UI or a like or scene manager or like anything, right? I'm realizing how much work you actually like don't have to do to make a game. So, hopefully in the future I'm just going to be ripping off a lot of other people's code if it's open source. I mean, then it wouldn't technically be ripping off. It would just be me using their code if it's open source, or if it's open, I guess open source. You know, free and open source, yippee. I'm just realizing how much there is, and this reminded me of it. Like this Godot LLM template? A first-person shooter template. Like all of these. Yeah, I mean, this is crazy. Like, these are just out here for free. And you could just use them in your game. Like, I'm just realizing how much work is gonna be already done for me when making an actual like an actual commercial game. And I basically just said that twice, but it's fine. All right, let's get it.
A high-level, object-oriented, imperative and gradually typed programming language with syntax a lot like Python built
I don't know what imperative means.
specifically
I don't really know what gradually typed is either.
for Godot. I know that sounds like a lot, but today we're going to learn it. While it's of course impossible to cover everything an entire programming language has to offer in just one video, we'll certainly try. In fact, we'll cover everything from variables and conditionals to getting input, inheritance, dictionaries, signals, and the list goes on. And who knows, perhaps we'll even figure out what GD stands for. Gandalf script? Green Day script? Gadolinium? We might never know. We'll start with the things that are considered to be most important for beginners, and then move on to more abstract programming concepts as we progress. It's not as much a follow along as it is an overview. So, if you're a beginner, lean back and know that you don't have to understand everything the first time. Also, it's totally okay to stop the video and try some of these things out. You can always come back to it at a later time. We've made sure to split everything into clearly named sections, so hopefully you'll be able to use this as a reference manual going forward. And if you're a seasoned programmer transitioning to GDScript, this video should provide you with a nice overview of the tools at your disposal, and how to approach doing different things. Keep in mind that this is a video on GDScript, not an introduction to Godot, so if you've never opened up Godot before, I suggest you begin with our video on making your very first game in Godot. Alright, without further ado, let's learn GDScript. But first, this video is sponsored by CodeCrafter. Hello world. So here we are.
I don't care. Actually, maybe...
Let's learn GDScript. But first, this video is sponsored by Codecrafters. If you've been writing software for a while and are looking to take your skills to a whole new level, Codecrafters is the place to be. Codecrafters allows you to practice writing complex software by challenging yourself with real-world projects. You get to build your own Git implementation, your own HTTP server, or even your own BitTorrent client. Along the way, you will practice advanced system design and gain a greater understanding of lower-level programming concepts such as networking, OS.
Oh my...
interactions and performance. And when you're done, you'll have a really impressive project to add to your portfolio. On top of this, you get to try new languages like Python, C, C++.
Carbon. Where's Carbon? Also, I've heard Kotlin is just a better Java. Isn't that correct? Like, am I wrong? C. Yeah. Yeah. C. That's tough. That's tough. Clojure. Yeah, this looks nuts.
And many, many more. Also, new challenges are constantly being added. I, for one, voted for the compiler challenge to be next. So become a better software engineer today by signing up for Codecrafters. Use the link below to get 1 week free and 40% off on all membership plans. Hello world. So here we are in an
Okay.
empty Godot project. It's really spacious in here. As it is custom, let's begin by making a script and adding some code to print a message. To do that, we need a test scene, so let's go and hit the plus. I'll add in a node, rename it to main, And let's save this as a scene. So I'll hit Control S, hit save. Let's add a script by pressing the scroll. We'll use the default template, and the name of the script should be main as well with a non-capital M. This creates a script with two functions. We'll start by focusing on the top one named ready. Think of this as the start of our game. As it says here, this function is called when the node enters the scene tree for the first time.
Okay, so what am I going to do here? Am I going to actually follow along with him?
Which happens...
Or am I going to do my own thing?
Right when we play our game. So we can put code in here that we want to happen immediately. I'll get rid of the other function for now. You can zoom in by holding down Control while scrolling. Now right now the only thing in our ready function is the pass keyword. Pass basically means do nothing, and it will appear in functions we haven't filled out yet. So let's replace it with some code that prints our message. We'll write print, and inside of the parentheses...
Like, is that necessary though? Is the pass keyword even necessary?
We'll put our message in quotation marks. Hello. Without Control happen immediately. I'll get rid of the other, and it will appear in functions we haven't filled out yet. So let's replace it with some code that prints our message. We'll write print, and inside the parentheses, we'll put our message in quotation marks. Hello world. We can then run the game by pressing this button here or hitting F5. It's going to ask us which scene we're going to run. We'll hit select current.
Wow.
And while our game isn't very exciting yet, we can now see that the console prints our message. The output window here, or the console, is where it will display prints, and it's also where we check for errors. Now to stop our game from running, we press the stop button here or press F8. Syntax. Now this might have worked for you, and it might not. That's because there are a few things to be aware of when writing GDScript. The first is that statements like print here terminate with a new line. There's no need to add a semicolon at the end like in many C-based languages. And GDScript, similar to a language like Python, uses indentation to determine the structure of your code. This means that you use tabs to tell GDScript where your code belongs. In our example here, I'm using a tab to tell Godot that our print line belongs to the ready function. If I delete this tab, I get an error. Also, GDScript is case sensitive. So if I write print with a capital P, I will also get an error. So just a couple of things to look out for there. Now, printing to the console is cool. Or, I mean, maybe not as cool as backflips, but well, I can't teach you to do those. But I can teach you how to display text in the game window instead. To do that, we'll need to modify a node through script. Modifying nodes 1.0. First, we need a node to modify. Let's use a label. So I'll add a new node, choose label. I'll zoom in, center it on the screen. Make some more room. Let's add a default text. This is a label. I'll center it and override the font size. Now, to edit the text of this label through script, we need two things. We need a reference to the label, and we need to access the property in the label that we want to change. In this case, the text. If we hover over text, we can see the name of the property through script, which is text with a non-capital T.
Okay,
so in our main
that's
script,
useful.
we'll first get a reference, and we can actually do this by simply taking the label and dragging it into our ready function. Then we can access the property by going dot, and we'll type in text and set it equal to hello world. And now when we play, our label changes.
That's really handy, actually.
First get a reference, and we can actually do this by simply taking the label and dragging it in.
That's, yeah, getting references like that is really handy. I do like that. I do like that. I mean, so far, it seems as good as Unity to me, pretty much. I mean, in Unity, there are a few things that are, like, easier, but I feel like in this one, it's, yeah, but I feel like in Godot it's okay. It's like good enough. And also it's free and open source and you don't need an account. So
into our ready function. Then we can access the property by
I think
going
all those bonuses kind of outweigh the positives that Unity has. I would argue that maybe Unity is the most user friendly game engine, maybe? But I haven't tried the other ones, so I don't know for sure.
We'll type in text and set it equal to hello world. And now when we play, our label changes to hello world. And we'll use this exact method to change other things as well, such as the color of the text. In fact, there's a property called modulate, which allows us to tint sprites and UI elements. In the inspector, you can find it all the way down here under visibility. Let's change it to green. So again, we'll click and drag to create a reference to the label, write dot modulate, and set it equal to color dot. Here we have a bunch of different colors. We'll choose green. And voila, our label is now green. So this is how we can make a utility called modulate, and we can use this exact method to change other things as well, such as the color of the text. In fact, there's a property called modulate, which allows us to tint sprites and UI elements. In the inspector, you can find it all the way down here under visibility. Let's change it to green. So again, we'll click and drag to create a reference to the label, write dot modulate, and set it equal to color dot. Here we have a bunch of different colors. We'll choose green. And voila, our label is now green. And set it equal to color dot. Here we have a bunch of different...
Whoa, and it actually shows you. That's pretty cool. Is there turquoise? Wait, I'm so curious now. And also, I just want to check this here. Like, does it... Okay. If I do... you know what? If I do this... please don't crash. Nice. I see, then it's not... Okay, then it's not going to show up. That's that's fair. That's fair. What? Yeah, okay. I guess it just doesn't work because, yeah. The whole... Okay, wait, does it work? No, it crashed. Okay, never mind. Never mind, it crashed. It crashed. It crashed. So you have to do a canvas layer. Okay, I see. I see. I understand. And what is it? Control Shift Q? Control Shift Q. Alright, and then I will do learning GD script. And you know what? I'm gonna make a nice little game of Pong.
Different colors, we'll choose green. And voila, our label is now green. So this is how we can make
Does he ever go 3D here though?
changes to nodes when our game is running. But right now, not much is happening during our game. So let's see how we can use input to make our game respond to our actions. Input. Let's say we want to turn this label red when we press the spacebar. To do this, we first need to set up an input action. We'll go Project, Project Settings, Input Map. Here we can add actions.
No,
Actions
you
allow us to
don't.
bind keys to
You don't need to do that. You don't need it. You don't need to do that.
something that we want to happen. Common actions
You
would be
don't need to
shoot,
do that.
jump, or so on. In our case, we wanted to change the color. I'll just go ahead and call it my action, so we can use it later for other things. Now let's hit add, and here's our action. Let's bind a key to it by pressing plus. It's now listening for input. I'm going to press the spacebar and hit OK. And now our spacebar is bound to my action.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I have a question. Okay, I'm gonna make a new one. You know, it's not that big. It's not that big of a deal. Okay. Uh, and yep, nice. Okay, you know what? It doesn't matter. You can see my file manager, my file explorer in all its glory. I'm like not actually sure. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't actually know if there's anything sensitive that I should be worried about showing in the file explorer. I don't think there is. I mean, by sensitive, I mean like personal information, not any like images or anything. Just personal information. That's just what I don't want. Don't want to have to give away, or I don't want to give away. Yeah, don't want to have to blur out the freaking screen like I did on the video that showed my email. Pretty great. Uh, what the fu- What? Okay, this is how large? Small. It's small. It's pretty small. So 1,000 MB is a byte, is a gigabyte, right? 1,000 MB Yeah, so it's really small. So I could just make as many projects as I want, really. And from what I know, okay, I will find out whenever I make a new project. So if I do new, then I do, what? Okay. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second, buddy. Oh, fudge. This has not changed yet. Hasn't changed. So I will rename that. I hope that didn't mess anything up. Actually, so let's open this up. I just renamed this folder to Learning Godot 2D, which is that right there. And it can't open it. Great. So import, and then I want this one. Yep, import and edit. Okay, and that's good. That should be good. So now it has two, and now I will just delete that one. And now I can do new, and now I don't know, okay. So my real question is, how do I change the default? How do I change the default file path? That's what I want to know. Do 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 do. Version control metadata. What? Okay, this is not what I wanted. This is not what I want. I just open the project again. That's not what I want. Manage tags. Okay. Uh, path, tags, name. Version control metadata. Okay, wait. What did he do? No, no, no. This one?
So this is how I like to think about coding. Coding is writing, but it's not just math and numbers.
Godot.
Okay. Nesting if statements is bad. Do this instead. Okay. These free games will make you a CLI expert. What? Okay. Let's just...
In my games folder, let's create a separate folder for first game. So hit create folder and
render forward plus mobile compatibility. What? What? So he has it as Git.
create an edit. And here we are, a clean slate, a blank canvas. Oh, I am so ready to make this game about. Well, this might be a good time to decide what our game will be about. But first, this video is sponsored by Zenva.
Okay, so I don't know why This doesn't... choosing an empty folder is highly recommended. What? What? Learning GDScript Forward Plus supports desktop platforms only. Advanced 3D graphics available. Can scale to large complex scenes. Uses rendering device backend. Slower rendering of simple scenes. Supports desktop plus mobile platforms. Wait. Ha ha ha. Wait. Wait a second. Wait a second. Supports desktop plus mobile platforms. Less advanced 3D graphics. Less scalable for complex scenes. Uses rendering device backend. Fast rendering of simple scenes. Okay. Supports desktop, mobile, and web platforms. Least advanced 3D graphics. Currently work in progress. Okay. Okay. Intended for low-end / older devices. Uses OpenGL3 backend. Fastest rendering of simple scenes. And sure, I guess. That's fine. Okay, so this is what I'm going to be learning with. This is what I'm going to be making my first game with. I do have an idea. I do actually have an idea for my first real game in quotation marks. But it's not going to be that complicated. Yeah, it's going to be a very, well, I do want to add a decent amount of features, but I, yeah, I do want to add a decent amount of features, but I am planning on it being a simple game, a quite a simple game. Okay. Um, hmm. So, I don't know why. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why this is the case. Okay. You're about to create a Godot project in a non-empty folder. The entire contents of this folder will be imported as project resources. What? What? Okay. I'm looking this up. I'm looking this up. Empty. Okay, why does my Godot project have to be in an empty folder within an empty folder? You know, have to be in two empty folders. Just seems so unnecessary. Okay, let me read this out. Why does Godot require a completely empty directory to start a new project in? I often gather assets and design documents for a project and then have to temporarily move them out before I can start developing a project. Just seems so unnecessary. Is there a reason it's this way? As long as there's no project.godot files in there, I don't see how a problem could arise. This was a change introduced in 3.1 because many people would attempt to create a project and then accidentally make it one directory up from where they meant to put it. When the Godot editor automatically opened, it would then automatically start trying to import every single asset it could find in subdirectories. Ones that you'd meant to be unrelated sibling directories. This would cause the editor to hang while it did a massive import, and you'd have to forcibly close the editor and delete the .import file. Basically, it was a giant hassle to deal with, and people would frequently make this innocent error. To prevent it, a rule was instigated. I wouldn't use that word. I would use a rule was made in installed, maybe. This rule, to prevent it, a rule is instigated to require an empty directory since then the editor would catch the issue beforehand. I believe an issue or a proposal has already been raised about changing this though so that it would still work, but would at least open a warning window or something. Okay, sorry about that. Um, okay, nice. I mean, there's not any sensitive information on this screen, I don't think, but it does matter. Note that since Godot 3.2, you're allowed to have hidden directories like .git before creating the project. Can't tell you what it is like that, but I always create a folder named after the project with two subfolders in it. Game for the actual Godot project and project for meta stuff like design documents and notes, ideas, social media stuff, raw art assets that need processing before going into the game, etc. That way I organize the things that will actually go in, that will actually go into the game itself and separate that from everything else. I suspect this is what is intended with the empty directory for a new project. Folder appears empty in Godot but has contents when viewed through Dolphin. No. My Godot project won't load. Godot 4 is cluttering my project with empty files that have similar names to actual scenes in the folder. Any ideas why? How do I exclude a folder in Godot? Prevent creating projects in folder that can break the editor. So, huh, huh. Okay. This is so weird, bro. This is so weird. I'm not gonna do any coding today, really. So, here is my Godot projects folder. You're telling me if I put another Godot folder in here, if I put another project folder in here, then it's gonna bug out. Is that what you're telling me? This folder is already empty. Why does it need to be two folders deep? You know, fine, whatever. 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 Learning Godot. I mean, eventually I will be making a folder by itself for my actual serious projects. This is just my learning folder. Learning Godot 2D upper folder. And then I put that in there. Beautiful. And then I rename this to learning. Okay, I rename this to Godot learning projects. Okay, and then this, and then that has to be empty for some reason. Why? Like that, what the fudge? So now I have to make a learning GD script upper folder. Learning GD script upper folder golfer. Sure, perfect. And then now I go back here, cancel. Then I remove this. Then I import. And then I do learning Godot 2D. Okay. Then I do learning Godot 2D. Import and edit, and let's see if that actually works. Yes, it does. Thank God. Okay, and then let's make another one here. Let's do learning GD script. Right, learning GD script. Okay, then we go boom, then we go boom, then we go yes, then we go yep, then we create a folder. Actually, do I even need to create a folder? Nice. And do I actually have to... What? What? Wait, do I actually... Are installed and ready to... Oh. Okay, it's already installed, but if I go to here, wait, what? Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. Yeah, I'm basically doing nothing. This episode, I'm doing very little this episode. This is learning GD script. This is what? Oh, wait, I don't have to do this. Okay. Let me remove that. Let me remove that. Wait, maybe I don't have to do that. I could do learning projects. So now I can just do this, and then I can just do... What? What? Okay, so I don't have to do that, I guess. Maybe? So I can delete this, maybe? And this one has export presets, but what? Oh, okay. Never mind, because it's, I see. This isn't the actual template, export template like it was earlier. Um, oh, it was fudging. It was trolling me. It was trolling me, bro. It was trolling me. Pretty sure. I think. Import, and then we got this one. Import and edit. Nice, yes. And then if I go back to here, yep. Then why? Stop. Then I select this one. And why was that showing up then? So if I do this, it's not empty. Okay. If I do test, if I just test here, Okay. Now if I just do test 2, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. Did it just create a test 2? No. No, it doesn't. It didn't create anything. Nice. Okay, so if I do this, then I do select current folder, then I do testat, then I do test, then I do create and edit. What? Okay, and then I go back, and then I do, huh. Oh, I see. I understand. Okay, I get it. I get it. Yeah, so I can just delete all of this, I think. So, what you have to do first, I really need to get off, actually. I really need to end this episode. So what I have to do is I have to create a folder, or I just do bam, bam, and then I create a folder, and then it's fine. Okay, I see. I see, I see. Okay, yeah, I see. I understand. And the project settings are different, but the export template is actually downloaded. So it's all good. All right. That's it for this episode. Should have been episode 31. Thank you for watching, and you will all see me on Tuesday. You will all see me on Tuesday. Yes. Because I don't record on Sunday. So you don't see me on Monday, even though today is Saturday. It's weird. It's a weird thing. All right. Goodbye. Thank you for watching.